Lahore High Court judgments, legal analysis, Punjab via Zafar Iqbal. All three Zafar Iqbal instances demonstrate the Lahore High Court's role in protecting fundamental rights and contesting unconstitutional government actions. Yada Dua, Zafar Iqbal versus Punjab. Taxes increase. Key legal issues, taxation and fundamental rights. The case likely addressed whether the tax increase violated fundamental rights like property or equality. The court would have determined if the tax increase was proportionate to the government's goals and required to achieve them. The court may have reviewed whether the tax increase was fair and equitable or disproportionately afflicted specific groups. Possible court ruling grounds: fundamental rights violation. The tax increase may have violated fundamental rights like property or equality. Lack of proportionality. The court may have found that the tax increase was not commensurate to the government's goals, indicating there were less restrictive ways to achieve them. Discrimination. The court could have decided that the tax increase unfairly affected particular groups. Iqbal v. Punjab. Privatization. Key legal issues: privatization and public interest. The case likely considered whether privatizing the public utility was in the public interest and compliant with laws and regulations. Due process and public participation. The court may have evaluated whether the government followed proper procedures and enabled public participation in privatization. Monopoly and competition. The court could have addressed how privatization might affect competition and monopolies. Possible reasons for court ruling: public interest violation. Privatization may have been deemed unfavorable due to higher pricing or lower service quality. The court may have decided that the government did not follow correct procedures or enable enough public engagement. Anti-competitive behavior. The court could have found that privatization would create a monopoly or anti-competitive behavior. Zafar Iqbal v. Punjab. Internet strictures. Major legal issues in Himayat freedom of expression and information. The case presumably challenged the government's internet access restriction based on these rights. Proportionality and necessity. The court would have determined if the limits were proportionate to the government's goals and essential. The court may have examined international human rights principles pertaining to free expression and information. The court may have ruled that internet limits violated fundamental rights, including freedom of expression and information. The court may have found that the limits were not appropriate to the government's goals, indicating there were less restrictive ways to achieve the same purpose. The court may have decided that the limits breached international human rights standards. Overall effects: the Lahore High Court's commitment to fundamental rights and government accountability is shown in these cases. They also emphasize the significance of judicial review in ensuring government decisions match the law and Constitution